Hello. So much to talk about today. I do not know where to start. Oh, thank you for subscribing and liking. We're on like 22,000. Woo! Let's see if we can get it to 25,000 by the end of the week. I mean, that would be like proper cool. But that's less important than the Chagos Islands. And honestly speaking, I find this very confusing. I've not really kept up with it because it's just, to me, another example of how the government haven't really thought something through. And I sort of feel if they can't think it through, why should I think it through? It's clearly going to end in disaster. And it has ended in disaster. So there's been a last minute halt on the plans of signing off the Chagos Islands. And it's gone to, basically, a High Court judge has blocked the government, concluding its Chagos surrender deal. The treaty signing would represent a grave breach of human rights and the Equalities Act. Now, my issue with this, obviously, you can wade through all the legal stuff, but wasn't Keir Starmer a barrister? Wasn't he supposed to be pretty genned up on the European Court of Human Rights and Equalities Act? I mean, wasn't that like his mastermind specialist subject? So if it was his mastermind specialist subject, why do we find ourselves today with the last ditch attempt? And this came in at 2 o'clock this morning. Okay, it was supposed to be signed at like 10:30, and at 2 o'clock this morning, this came in. Why, at the 11th hour, has this just been uncovered? And more importantly, how much has it cost? You know, these lawyers and these high court judges, they're not free, they're not cheap. You know, it's not no win, no fee. It's really bloody expensive. And if we park Chagos just for a second, because we'll have to wait and see what happens on that today, I'm looking at the waste and the unnecessary money that is being spent undoing all the labour cocking up. Now, I don't like waste, so my daughter will testify this. Last night she left, I mean, it's always like one mouthful of food, and it was the sauce from the meatballs, and it was one mouthful, and I was full, but I ate it. And she said, why are you eating that? I thought you're full. I'm like, yeah, but I can't stand the waste. Probably explains why I can't see my waste. But I can't stand it. And I'm looking at this thinking, how are we signing off? Like, millions of pounds in failed legal bids and experiments that aren't working. You know, VAT on education, it's an experiment. It hasn't worked. The winter fuel U-turn, although it's not really a U-turn, is it? Because he hasn't actually done anything about it. We have to wait and see on that. But all of this stuff costs money. And it's like we've got money to burn. It's like we're not teetering on the edge. But we are. And we haven't. So here we are. Chagos. I mean, it makes us look really flipping stupid as well, particularly when the Prime Minister, I mean, how long for, who knows, but the Prime Minister, who is supposed to be an expert in this field, has clearly overlooked page 68, section B, article 1, you know, XYZ case, and just ploughed forward to sell off so that we can sell off some islands so that we can have a little bit of money and then rent them back. I mean, again, surely, just from an economic perspective, that was a bit daft, but somebody will tell me it wasn't, but it feels that way to me. But how are we missing these massively important markers? And it doesn't feel like Labour have had 14 years to get this right. They've had 14 years where they said the Tories cocked it up every single time. And a lot of that I don't disagree with. But they've had 14 years to learn how to get it right and not make those stupid mistakes that were the downfall of the last government. And you would think that all of their rhetoric, all of their spouting, all of their moral high-horsing, all of their you're so stupid, you can't get it right, if we were in power, we would do it this way. Well, you are in power and you still can't get it right. What the hell have you been doing for 14 years? And what were you doing, Starmer, as this top-shot barrister? I mean, maybe you weren't. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe we're going to find out that you were as crap as Rachel Reeves was at the bank. But I don't understand how we are just overlooking. We're also stuck on the big political headline, which is the Chagos Islands. Why are we not spending more time looking at how much undoing these messes costs? I mean, my other half says on pretty much everything in life, the cheapest part is buying it. So, you know, when you buy a house, the cheapest part is buying it. Then you've got to undo all the stuff that's been done wrong. The cheapest part is buying a car because then you've got to fix all the bits that no one else has fixed. It's his literal mantra all the time. But on this one, he's right. You know, the cheapest part was the deal. The expensive bit is going to be undoing the deal that doesn't work. And I'm gobsmacked that we keep just making these same mistakes. No lessons have been learned. And absolutely, why are we not holding them accountable to this? Come on, Kemi. Come on. Who even is leader of reform? Nige. Come on. Crack on. Let's get on with this. Let's start holding them to account. Let's stop them spaffing all of our taxpayer money on failed deals that weren't thought out and failed policies that weren't thought out, because it's costing us more in undoing the damage than it was in anything we were ever going to make. Well, perhaps not quite more, but a lot of money that we don't have and we can't afford. You cut your cloth and all of that. So that has got under my skin this morning. It's not, the headline story is always going to be the Chagos Islands, but for me, what's happening underneath is as important. The money that we are wantonly spending on ill thought out policy. It's a complete waste.